This is my third attempt at this video because my kids are insane, but I'm just talking about toxic relatives and like parents and family and how like as adults we shouldn't feel bad for choosing healthy relationships even if the relationships chosen for us at the beginning of our lives are not something that like we can deal with anymore. You know, I don't know. Everybody knows that I've committed this huge taboo against society by divorcing my parents and then having to divorce my entire family because it was a conflict of interest. And it's been over 3 years, you know, and I just realized that it was not okay to allow the abuse to happen just because they were my relatives, just because they were my blood, my parents, you know. That's not cool. You know, I understand everybody has their problems, but like if you are drunk and abusive and calling your daughter a slut in front of her 3-year-old child, like that's just not something that should be tolerated, you know? I wrote them an 8-page letter, you know, detailing abuse and how it affected me and like, let's take some responsibility, let's do some therapy. And their response was just by bashing me on Facebook, calling me a liar. And that's fine. Because like nobody needs to believe me. I really don't give a shit, honestly. Like my life has been okay. Yeah, it's just been okay, you know. But like I don't have like drunk abusiveness in my life anymore. Like not even over the phone. Because like even moving 2 hours away, they still had this crazy control over me. And they're narcissists. They're narcissistic and abusive. And they think that they can just do whatever they want to because they're my blood relatives, because they created me. They're my parents. You know, they spent a lot of time blaming me for my own conception, you know, so I don't even understand. There's so much I still just don't understand. But what I do know and what I do understand is that being no contact is like the only way to not kill myself, basically, right? I don't know, I just love my kids so much. I don't want them to be around that shit. I don't want them to be around my drunk or my high abusive ex-husband, soon to be ex. And like, I don't want them to be around people who are their grandparents that like try to just pawn them off as soon as they get them, you know, and go to the bar, look for a sitter and go to the bar. Like, that's not okay. That's not all right at all. You know, so like as rough as it is, because like my kids don't have family, I don't have family, like it's now just the 3 of us. We have really close friends, like we do have their godmother. She is like all the family that we need. You know, but other than that, like I learned back when I first got clean that you have to be selfish in order to be selfless. And I think that was probably the most important lesson I ever learned in my life, for sure. Because like when you get selfish, then like you make healthier decisions, you know? If you're selfish for the wrong reasons, obviously it's different, but like I had to be selfish in order to survive and in order to live, you know, and in order to protect my kids. And I don't know. I just think that some people are just down to accept being treated like shit and being walked all over and stuff simply because it's their mama or their daddy, you know, or their brother or their sister. Like when we're adults, we don't need parents anymore. Not like that. You know, like as an adult, my mom would still look at me and be like, I'm your mother. I said so. That's why. Like, I'm a grown ass woman. You know, like what are you really trying to tell me when like my life is more in order in most ways than yours? Like I don't understand at all. So, but I don't feel bad for cutting out my family. You know, I don't. I've been through trauma therapy and everything else. And my therapist has said, like, it would just be the worst thing in the world to ever open that door again. You know? And I know that to be true because, my mom did contact me in the last 9 weeks and totally was just like, they never did anything to me. That's like exactly what she said. You know, even though my dad like tried to murder me as a grown woman with his bare hands, you know, my mom said, Christina, we never did anything to you. So, but I think that that's just like a terrible statement because like you can't just say you never did anything to somebody because that's just false. You know, we fuck people up all the time and we don't even mean to, you know, but like when you are intentionally fucking mean, that's No. And then when you don't take responsibility for it, that is even worse. That is so much worse. Like, I don't know. It's just not even cool. But it's just, you need to do you, especially as an adult. You need to take care of you, you know. And sometimes our family members, you know, they will like cling to us to save them because they can't save themselves, you know. But like, especially when it's your parents, dude, you had twice as long as I have had to get your shit together, and I'm not going to sit here and be responsible for your problems. I'm sorry. You know, I am so sorry, especially when you're not going to take responsibility for them. I have learned that enabling people is the best way for them to keep using you and abusing you, right? Because like, if you enable somebody so much that they never have to take responsibility for their shit, and they never have to get better, and they never have to put in the work, and it's never gonna happen. You know, like, here I am. I have been putting in some serious fucking work. You know, I even went through trauma therapy when I was pregnant with my son against the advisement of 4 doctors. Like, I'm so glad I did it, you know, but like, especially if you have kids, like, I always think about, I never want my kids to have to spend a second of their adult life healing from their childhood. And that could have been a really real thing, you know, everything with my husband. But we need to be careful about who we keep in our lives and who we love too close, because sometimes people just use their role and use it to take advantage of you. You know, just because our parents had us does not mean that we should like go out of our way and our comfort zones and out of our level of sanity to take care of them if they're just going to abuse you in return. You know, that's not okay. Of course, like, I wish I had parents who were like grateful that I would be there and care more about their problems than they do. I really wish that was the case, but that's just not the case. So, and there's nothing that I can do to change it. You know, it's on them. The ball's been in their court, and that's just where I'm at with it. You know, it sucks, but I don't know. It's been a really rough fucking weekend. That's for sure. My eyes have been opened to so many things. You know, especially with yesterday being Father's Day, and it's like, I don't know. I'm in a really weird place in my life, and I'm probably going to be posting videos every single day because I have found that this is probably the best way for me to get out of my head and work on healing and avoid attachments and work on just being with myself and being with my kids, you know, because that's what's really important. And I really don't have any time for distractions right now, especially like just people. I just need to do me. You know, one thing that I realized, and it's kind of shitty, is like when your parents don't even want you, it makes it really hard to believe that anybody else actually would ever want you. And, you know, that's probably not entirely accurate, but I will say that it's probably more important for me to just be okay with it, even if it is true, you know? Because, like, in the end, I am here for myself. I am here for my kids. And that's it. That's all. That's all we got. That's all that is for sure, is me for myself and me for my kids. That's it. No matter what anyone says, like, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's all, you only have you. And now my son's here and miserable. So I'm going to end this. But have a good evening. And I'll be touching on many, many, many topics for the rest of forever.